Don't answer the door in a wedding dress and veil. He might not think you're joking. This quote by Amy Sedaris, an American actress and comedian, illustrates the kind of feeling associated with wedding dresses. While Ogake Mosomi will not answer the door to her workshop in a wedding dress, you are most likely to find one of her tailors working on a wedding gown.
Yeah, so if you're going to be needed.
31-year-old Ogake is the owner of Ogake Bridal, a company that specializes in bridal wear.
I always wanted to do fashion just because I felt like there was a gap in the market for Kenyan made or Kenyan products, and I was really excited to be one of those people who could participate in that. And when I started initially, I was doing a little bit of everything. Then I realized there was actually a gap in bridal wear, custom bridal wear, and especially because women, African women, are of such varied sizes, it's not very easy for people to buy clothes off the rack.
A graduate of the Kent Institute of Arts and Design in the United Kingdom, Ogake worked for 8 months at Ivory as a designer, buyer, and merchandiser. She also worked for bridal wear designer Jenny Packham.
As a designer, it's also very fulfilling to see the work that you do come to life. So I think I want a bit more than just seeing things on paper. I want my creations to be on other people. I also want to enable people to have that experience of having something unique or having something that's theirs. So self-employment gives me that flexibility to sort of explore the ideas that I have with my clients and with the people that I'm working with and for.
Her chosen career path, though, is often filled with misconceptions.
A lot of people, oh, you're a fundi. Oh, you're a tailor. Yes and no. But a lot of people are also like, oh, wow, that's a bold move. Who goes and does fashion design? And then also there's the people who really appreciate the arts, and they'll be like, oh, wow, good for you. You guys are, contributing to the art and the design scene in Kenya. So yeah, there's varied receptions.
Ogake Bridal was established in 2013 with a startup capital of 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Initially, the company designed all kinds of dresses. However, Ogake's decision to specialize in bridal wear generated mixed reactions.
Initially, we had people who would come to us even before we specialized. We were still making wedding dresses, one-offs, once in a while. The guys who are a bit, out there. But when we completely switched and we said we're not doing any of the other stuff, there was people who were like upset with us or feeling like we're trying to put ourselves at a certain level. But also there were people who were very receptive to it because they felt like there was a need, and there are people in the market who are not being whose needs are not being met. So it was a bit of a mixed bag, but there was also a lot of that place where you're trying to get people to believe that it's possible to have a really nice dress made which will rival any dress you can buy from.
Her decision to fully concentrate on bridal wear has been vindicated by the reactions that her dresses garner from satisfied customers.
The satisfaction you get with bridal is 10 times more because you're participating in a woman's one of the biggest days of her life. You're enabling her to present herself in the way that she feels most comfortable and most happy, and you're sort of participating in like a lifetime of memories, because those are which are going to be there for life. The emotions that are involved in making a wedding dress, everything from the tears to the wonder of, is it going to come together? Is it going to be what I want? The range of emotions is just, it's crazy. But I think for us, there's that adrenaline of going from sketch and it's just an idea in our minds, and then bringing it all together to the culmination. And then that day when she tries on her dress for the last time with the veil and everything. And it's emotional for them, but it's also emotional for us. Each dress, I think we're very passionate about what we do. Everyone in the studio is passionate about bridal.
It is estimated that more than 5 million weddings take place in various African cities and towns every year. The global wedding gown industry is estimated to be worth up to $10 billion every year. Kenya has not been left behind, and as Ogake explains, the bridal wear landscape is much different from when she made her foray into the industry.
Between last year and this year, because we've specialized in the past 2 years, there has been a huge increase in terms of the orders that we are getting. So before, maybe we were doing 2 dresses a month, and then it would peak in April, August, and December, sort of like matching up with the school holidays. Right now, like every month we have orders, and again, those months are still quite busy. There has been a marked improvement. Of course, most people are still buying their gowns, but you get more people who are willing to sort of consider that other option, that, oh, I could actually get something made which is unique or which is different to what's existing in the market.
Working in the creatives industry does come with its own unique challenges.
It's looked upon as a not very serious profession at the moment, which is quite unfortunate because everybody wears clothes. So trying to formalize your business and get into that space where you're treating it as a business and not a hobby, that transition sometimes can be really difficult, especially for creatives, because we're so passionate. So sometimes we spend so much time, we focus on the designs, or we don't really think about, is this going to make business sense, and how am I going to make a living, and how am I going to make money out of this? Then aside from that, maybe we're not so aggressive in getting information about where can I get funds to push my business forward, where can I get people who I can work with, collaborations and things like that. So we end up, like, for a long time, maybe I was in my small cocoon and I wasn't out there, so it sort of limited how fast I could move.
Nevertheless, the biggest challenge facing Ogake is the kind of training that young designers in Kenya get. A lecturer at the University of Nairobi School of Arts and Design, she hopes to change this predicament.
Our work is very labor intensive, so you do need lots of hands in the different areas. Yeah, so finding people who are reliable, finding people who are skilled is not very easy. Then on top of that is the whole idea of people imagine stuff that's made locally should be cheaper, which is not the case at all, because one, materials are very expensive. We don't produce anything locally. Everything is imported. And then two, the cost of labor here is also quite high. So in order for a designer or a maker or an artisan to make money, we do need to charge more than that mass-produced item that comes from China or India.
Then now the net is the one which is very...
According to Ogake, consistency is very important as it motivates potential clients to buy into an entrepreneur's idea. Creativity and producing products of high standards will also help an organization stand out in a crowded field.
When we started, it was a room no bigger than this, and I lived there, I worked there. I was running around doing everything by myself, and well, I was with one other girl, but I was the cutter, I was the one stitching, I was the one talking to clients, I was the one sourcing. It was crazy. But now, like 3 years on, and without, taking major loans or massive risks, I'm able to get to the point where I am now. So I think if the trend continues and if we continue pushing ourselves in the next 5 years or 3 years, we'll be way ahead.
A dress at Ogake Bridal retails between 70,000 and 250,000 Kenyan shillings. The company uses exhibitions like Samantha Bridals and Fafa to reach its target market. Word of mouth and social media are other avenues that Ogake utilizes to advertise about its wedding dresses. Ogake, though, is targeting a much wider audience.
I'd like to expand my business into the region. For me, we say international, but I'm thinking more about Africa, because I think here is where there's a lack of these things. In our region especially, there's not very many people doing what we do. So I'd like to have a presence, at least in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, South Sudan, at least even if we don't have stores, because I really want to keep the custom thing going, then at least we can have do our own trunk shows or fashion shows twice a year, go take our orders, and just sort of like give really good service within our region. I'd also like to have like a much bigger establishment which is sort of like divided into like all the different aspects. So a design team, a properly well-trained design team. I'd like to have my beading and finishing and lacing work team. I'd like to have my own little, workshop where we do like all our creative, like little handmade detailing. I'd like to have a team of tailors so that we can be able to do much bigger orders. As well as that, we've been doing accessories for a while, and I'd like that to expand. So that one I see it going, like having an online store, a really good online store, and then maybe stocking in some concession stores at the bigger malls. And then having also, for those ones, having a presence even abroad, and expanding that line into not just simple vitenge bags, but bags which are like really creative. We design our own fabric, make our own bags. Everything is just completely 100% authentic.
Ogake currently has 7 employees on her roster. Although she admits that there are days that she feels like giving up, having a supportive system spurs her on.
If you look at the design scene right now, there's loads of young people like our generation who are really doing amazing stuff. There's so many people. So we have those networks. And anytime I feel like, wow, things are bad, or I really need something which is going to help me to move to the next step, then I have a number of people that I can chat to who can share information or tips of how they've passed through these stages.
So what words of advice does Ogake Mosomi have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Make sure that you are always trying to push yourself beyond being ordinary. If you're mediocre, you can't get very far. It doesn't matter how popular, for example, right now, interior design is a really big thing in Kenya. So it doesn't matter how many jobs there are. If you're mediocre, trust me, you'll not get anywhere. That's the first thing. Secondly, always try to push yourself. I've repeated that. Try to push yourself. So try to learn new skills. Try to get as much information in your area as you can, just so that it enables you to push the boundaries a little bit. Because if your technical skills or your knowledge is quite low, then there's only so much that you can achieve.